good morning, good morning. You're listening to Coffee and Conversation with your boy J Man. I hope everyone had a great weekend. I hope you all had a great weekend. Most certainly did. I had a great, wonderful weekend. Let me give a shout out to the folks in the chat room. Good morning, Dr. Tony Love. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for being on. Wanda, good morning, dear. Thank you so much for being on. I don't know if Emory Winship Cancer Center is on right now, but if they are on, good morning to you all. My Winship Warriors, good morning to you. Good morning to you. We're praying for you. Y'all make sure y'all do what your trainers, your doctors, your nurses tell you to do, and we're gonna give cancer hell. I wanted to say something else, but I'll get in trouble for saying it. But it's one of my favorite sayings for cancer, but it is what it is. I'll keep it moving. I hope you all are having a great time. Shout out to the people on Facebook Live. Shout out to you all. Shout out to you all on Facebook Live. Shout out. Good to have you all. Thank you so much for peeping in the room this morning. Here's what I want to do. I want to go ahead and have start the conversation off this morning. And my conversation starts here. Today's conversation is going to be centered around forgiveness. It's going to be centered around forgiveness. A few years back, I was in a play, and the name of the play was Not All Wounds Heal. Really great, amazing play. The character that I had to play was an emotionally abusive pastor, if you will. He was emotionally abusive to his daughter and to his wife. In order to play that role, I had to dig deep into some areas. If those that have ever acted, I don't know how. If you even if you have acted, I don't know how far into acting you went. But one of the techniques that they tell us is never judge the character you're playing. Never judge the character you're playing. Let me turn this chat off. Never judge the character. What's up, Dr. Walter? Never judge the character that you're playing, especially when you're playing the bad guy, when you're the bad person in the film, or the abusive person, or the drug addict, or the drug dealer, or the murderer. Never judge the character. You become a part of that person, but you never judge that character. You're not supposed to judge that character. So in order for me to accomplish that role or go through that role, I had to get to a place where I wasn't judging the character. I was just being that person. And by not judging the character, you're able to pursue that part, that embody that character. If I'm trying to slow roll this, if I was to tell you anything today concerning, as we launch into this conversation this morning about forgiveness, I would tell you not to judge yourself. Not to judge yourself. There is a life scene. There is a life movie. There is a life sitcom. There's a life TV series, or however you want to depict this, and you are the main character. Your life, you are the main character. You are going to make some mistakes in life. You are going to make bad decisions in life. Please understand, those are two different things. Mistakes and bad choices are two different things. Two different things. And if we find ourselves, and this is the reason why I'm able to talk from this vantage point or from this point of view, is because that was me for years. I've always judged myself. I always overjudged myself. If we're not supposed to judge others, the others should begin with the person in the mirror. Don't judge yourself. We have to learn how to, in the beginning of every day, look in the mirror full of forgiveness. You're going to make mistakes throughout the day. You're going to make bad choices throughout the day. You're going to make some right choices, and you're going to make some open up some opportunities that are wonderful. But if you're like me, a lot of the good stuff that comes our way and a lot of the good things that we accomplish are oftentimes overlooked because we focus on what is bad about us. We focus about what's bad about us. What, oh, I didn't do this. Oh, I messed up on this. If you are judging yourself, if you're not cutting yourself any slack or giving yourself forgiveness, I guarantee you aren't giving others forgiveness. At least not in the right manner. I often say, I thank God that God is not like us, because our form of forgiveness is so condition based, even when it comes to ourselves. There's a scripture that says that you will know the tree by the fruit it bears, not judge the tree. That's two different things. When you know the tree, you're able to say, okay, that's an apple tree. But if you go up there, oh, look at that bump on that fruit, or look at that thing right there, or look how the tree is leaning to the side, you're judging the tree. Our job is to know the tree. If we learn to forgive ourselves, the person in the mirror, if we learn to love that person in the mirror, if we learn to extend some courtesy of Jason, you're gonna mess up today, or Jason, you messed up today, or Jason, and when you get to that point where you say, okay, Jason, you need to do better. But if you were anything like me, Jason, you done messed up. You see how stupid you are, Jason, and see how you done messed up again, Jason, and instead of taking the good, the bad, and the ugly, and growing in life, what we end up doing is taking that ugly and that bad, and we harp on it. I want each and every one of us to understand this, that there is good in each and every last one of us. I know. We have all kinds of situations going on in this world. We have two premier trials going on at this, even in this very moment. Two premier trials for murder, and how dare I sit and say that there are good in all of us? Yes, there are good in all of us, in everybody, from the racists to the there's some good in there. All of us. But in order for the world to see the good in us, we must first see the good in ourselves. It's easy for somebody to say, oh, yeah, you're this way, oh, you're this way. But if you don't see it in yourself, if you don't see the goodness in yourself, no matter what another person says to you, it doesn't matter. If we're gonna, there's a saying, go out and change the world. There's one way we can change the world every day. Every day we can change the world. Every single day we can change the world. How do we do that? How do we change the world? Go to the mirror, look in the mirror, and that person that's in front of you, that person that you're looking at in the mirror, change that person. When you change that person, the world automatically changes. It automatically shifts. All because you decided to change yourself. All because you decide to change yourself. We have to get to a place in our lives, all of us. I know. Some people, they feel as if they have everything together. And they may, but for the rest of us, we have a lot of growing to do. We have a lot of shifting to do. We have a lot of purging. There's a good word. That we have a lot of purging to do. There are things that's on the inside of us that needs to be purged out in order to make room for something better. As long as we hold unforgiveness about any situation, about anybody, you consume space within yourself for something good. You're consuming. They call it in today's social media site, living rent free. When you embody unforgiveness in your heart, if you embody judgment in your heart, I started off by saying never judge the character. Never judge in acting. It was never judge the character you're playing. When we do that to ourselves, about ourselves, we're doing it to other people. It extends to other people. Biblically speaking, the word tells us that we have to love others as we love ourselves. The key word is in that statement is not love. The key word in that is not others, and it's not ourselves. The key word in that phrase is as. Love others as we love ourselves, equal to the same, in the same manner in which we love ourselves. And I often say that's the one scripture everybody is getting right. Whether we know it or not, that is the one scripture all of us are getting right. Because we are loving other people the same way we love ourselves. So if I can begin to love myself better, if I can start loving myself better, I can start loving others better. Because I shouldn't treat anybody better than I'm treating myself. We have to learn how to love ourselves. We have to learn how to forgive ourselves. We have to learn how not to judge ourselves. Our lives, our let me put it this way. Our mornings, I'm gonna limit it. I want to say our lives. I want to say our day, but I am going to limit it to the morning. I am going to limit what I say about our mornings. If we begin to love on ourselves every day, our mornings will be better. Our literally, our mornings, when we wake up in the morning, our mornings will be better. Why do I say that? Because you can't wait for this day to get started so that you can love on yourself. When we get to a place where we're loving, I'm happy to be alive, and I have a gracious attitude. I'm grateful for the things that I have, and all of these different traits begin to come out of when our eyes pop open with a mindset like that. We cannot wait to get our day started, because it's not about outside influences. It's not about people that's on the outside of our homes, on the outside of our lives, on the outside of our bodies, that has anything to do with this moment other than me. Morning. When I wake up in the morning and I look at that person in the mirror, or I rub my arms, I take a deep breath, and I'm still alive. When I realize that I'm still alive, I begin to love on myself. That's what we have to do. If we start by making our mornings, the first person you love on is that inner you. Before you start loving on all of these other people and sowing into these other people and going to work and work for that person, and then driving to work, and now somebody want to call you because they need counseling, and you doing this for this, and you're doing it over here, and you're working over here, and you're part of that organization, you're leading these group of people. But before any of that happens, start your mornings by loving on yourself. If we just learn how to forgive ourselves, okay, yesterday I made some mistakes. Jason, you're going to do better today. You're going to own up to your mistakes. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. Instead of having this conversation, I told you, see, even before when I went to bed last night, I told you how dare you make another stupid decision like that. And when you wake up in the morning, you're going to get that same conversation is going to be in your head. If you go to bed that way, I promise you, you're going to wake up that way. That's why when you go to bed and when you wake up, it's all about loving on you. Good God, yeah. We expect people to come into our lives and love on us. All of us, all of us. Everybody wants to be loved and feel loved. Two different things. Everybody wants to be loved and feel loved. However, a lot of times we expect that feeling or those two things to be done from the outside. In order for it to happen correctly from the outside in, we have to do it from the inside out. In other words, I have to make myself feel loved. I got to know I have to know if I'm loving on myself, so I got to make sure that I'm feeling love. I got to make sure that I'm feeling love. I have to do the things that I want. If I want to receive different things from outside sources, I have to be doing those things. If you're not taking yourself out on dates, why should anybody else? If you're not buying yourself nice things, why should anybody else? Because when you go out on a date, you're going to feel funny because you don't know what it feels like to be on a date. Now you're going to mistreat the date. When somebody do ask you to go out, learn to do a internal. That's it right there. Learn to have your own internal love affair that's built around forgiveness. That's built on what's the word that I'm looking for? That's built on sowing into yourself. That means doing things for yourself. You don't have to. You show people how to love you by loving you. There it is right there. Show people how to love you by loving you. When we do that, when we learn how to show people how to love on us by loving on us, when it's time for that relationship thing to happen, I don't care what type of relationship. I know most people mind go straight to love relationship, but even friendship, even job, your job is a relationship. If you go into church, that's a relationship. If you're a part of an organization, that's a relationship. If you want those people that you're in relationship